Hey everyone, so tonight we're going to make coffee marinated steak, and I'm improvising a few things with what I have here, but you'll get the gist of it. So I have already marinated our steak, and it calls for a flank steak, and I looked that up online and it said that that was a London broil. Okay, so this is about 1.5 pounds of London broil that I already have added 1/4 cup of espresso, a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of packed brown sugar, some olive oil, salt, chili powder, and garlic. And this has been marinating for about 3 or 4 hours. It says to give it anywhere from 2 to 24. So of course, the longer you marinate your meat, the more tender it's going to be and the more it's going to have that flavor. But it should still have plenty of flavor with this. So where I am improvising here, we've got that marinated. It says to use the small grill pan, or actually no, the 12-inch cast iron skillet. I have the 10-inch cast iron skillet, and I think that's going to be longer than that pan. So I'm going to use my cast iron sizzle skillet, which actually I didn't bring it in here, but it comes with a wooden trivet that it can sit on top of, much like the Mexican restaurants where you go get fajitas. That's what I usually use this pan for. So I've got it heating up, and to it we're going to, well, I guess, yeah, I guess to it we're going to add a little bit of oil, about a tablespoon. So this is the oil and vinegar dispenser. I just use it pretty much for olive oil. And it's got markings on the side here that tell teaspoons. Well, it tells teaspoons, but I usually just fill it up pretty good. This goes up to 3 teaspoons, and I think about 4 teaspoons makes a tablespoon. So once you measure that up, all you have to do is tilt it over and pour it out, and it's ready to go. So I just keep it by my stovetop, easy peasy. So I'm gonna let this heat up, and while this is heating for a few minutes, we're gonna work on our corn salsa that goes along with it. So here I have just a bag of frozen corn. I'm gonna use my chip clip that is also a cutter. I don't know if you can see this, but on one side it opens up and it'll clip, and on the other side there's a little razor in there. And I'll just keep it, I use the magnet on the back, keep it on the refrigerator. It comes in a set of 2, and it cuts right across your bags. So we are going to measure out 1.5 cups of corn. Oh, I did forget to do something before getting started. My cat's walking around here, and she may make an appearance here in a few minutes because she does not like it if she's not fed by a certain time. Hopefully not. And this is our small plastic mixing bowl that I'm using. This was actually took out of the spring and summer catalog, but it is in outlet. Guys, if you never went to shop and then went to the outlet, sometimes you can find some really good stuff in there. And like I said, this has just been discontinued. I don't know how many's left, but it's probably marked down. It's a nice medium size. The bigger one's 4 quart and the smaller one is 2 quart, I think. So I find myself going to this medium size a little bit more often than I would have thought. Okay. So we are also going to use a whole red bell pepper. I'm just going to take my chef's knife, and I'm going to cut, well, I think I'm going to make it easy here. And I'm just going to cut down around the seeds because we don't need them. And I see some still in there. Stuck in. Okay. And this is our quick slice. I've used it to slice cooked chicken. I use it a lot for bell peppers. I really do. So we're just going to use a rocking motion there. And this is our prep board, and it comes with these 2 containers. So when I'm prepping stuff, it has these little metal racks on the side, and you can take them out and move them to either other side, however you need it to fit in your kitchen. And actually, we want these to be diced, so I'm gonna have to do this again. But anyway, so I use this for bell pepper. I use it for little plum tomatoes. I used it Sunday to make salsa with these little Roma tomatoes. And I did it just like I'm going to show you here that I'm going to do these bell peppers. So first I cut it into strips. And then I turn around and put the strips vertically in here. And go down, and we have all our nice little cubes. Quick and easy, and we don't have to worry about chef's knife cuts or anything. They're perfect. Because really the thing you want is for everything to be about the same size so that it cooks evenly. And these little containers, if you're wondering, they are 5-cup containers, which is a pretty good size. They hold more than you think. I really like it when I get broccoli out and cut it down into florets. It's a good size to hold that. Or if I slice mushrooms, which is another thing I use this quick slice for a lot. One more. That's done. So we're going to take our sliced bell pepper, or diced bell pepper, I should say, and put it in here. I'm going to go back and check this skillet. Seems to be pretty hot. Let's see. So I'm going to use my small chef tongs, and I already have our oven preheated at 375. That's been working too. Another good pan to use for this recipe would be the cast iron grill pan with the cast iron cover, or yeah, so it would make the nice little grill mark lines. I'm going to let that go. I think it says 3 or 4 minutes. 3 minutes per side, yes. So I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to come back over here to this. So I am also going to dice some green onions. And I'm going to cut some of the tops off and cut the little, we're going to give him a haircut here. Cut some of the hairy bottoms off. And that is a joke, guys, because as you know, I'm a hairdresser. So, I'm going to put our little green onions in here where I've cut them in half. And we're just going to slice this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Hold on. Bell pepper, corn, and oil. Yes, I should not have done that. Okay, let me take those out because we are actually going to put these in the air fryer. We're going to add these last. So, just put them in that bowl that I had the pepper in. Trying to get ahead of myself here. And it actually called for 3 bell pepper. I'm only using 2. My family is not real keen on onions. So you can switch these recipes up however you need to. Sometimes if I just do a little bit, they're okay with it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave those there. I think that's going to be okay for a few minutes. And I'm going to talk to you. It also calls for using our modular grill pan. I haven't ordered that yet. It is going to, it's on my list to order. I keep a wish list just like you guys do. So it is a little small basket style grill pan. Has really fine holes in it that you can grill small pieces of foods in. And it comes with a little retrieval tool that you just stick in the handle of it and you can pull it out so you don't burn your hands trying to use a mitt or anything else. So it comes, you can get the set with 2. I'm not sure when you just order a small grill pan if it's 1 or if you get 2. That's what I've been undecided about myself, is whether to order them separately or just go ahead and get it as a set. But the good thing about the modular grill pans is they fit right inside of our modular sheet pans. So this is the size of our small modular sheet pan, which is what I'm going to use to grill the corn and bell pepper. And then this is the bigger one, which is just a little shy of 9 by 13. So to this, we're going to add a little bit more oil. I think that was all. Bell pepper, corn, and oil, yes. And I think it was a tablespoon also. So there we go. And I'm really surprised it doesn't say to salt and pepper. I guess because if you had it in the grill pan, then the salt and pepper, this is our small mixing scraper. I tend to grab that one because it's a medium size and it just fits my hand a little better. Sometimes if I'm doing cakes, I'll get the large one because it'll get more batter out quicker. So all I'm going to do here is just go ahead and stir this up. And before I put that in, I am going to turn this. There we go. Nice and brown, just the way we want it. Okay. So I am going to put this in our small modular pan, modular sheet pan. And let's see. So we're going to bring that over to the air fryer here. Now the air fryer pretty much just plugs in. I've got that cord laying out right here. I'm just going to plug it in and it comes on. Nothing really difficult about that. And I already have one of the little trays, and I think this little metal weave is probably about what that grill pan is. So it's, you can see it's going to keep things steady, or nothing's really going to slip through that. Okay, so all we're going to do here is we're going to turn the buttons till we get to air fry, and we're going to push the center button, and it says 25 minutes. We only want 20 minutes, so we're going to dial that back. We're going to push the button again, and it's going to come on. Now it's going to beep about halfway through at the 10-minute mark to let me know that it's ready to turn or stir or something. What I really like to use my air fryer for, and I may do this in a little bit to go along with this, is for fries or potato wedges or something like that. I'll use my basket that comes with it, and I'll just open it up and put our potatoes in here, seasoned with oil. and it fits in the side. There's some little grooves there. And I will turn it on for however many minutes. I think 22 is the magic number for potatoes. And then once it gets started, I'll hit the rotate button, and this turns as it goes. So I don't have to stop and shake it up every little bit like some of the air fryers do. Okay, so we're gonna let that do its thing. I am going to cut this lime here, because we're gonna need the juice of the lime. And this looks like it's browned pretty good. So at this point, I'm going to take it out and just stick it in the oven so it can cook through in the center. And I think it said 13 to 15 minutes. So I guess it depends on how well you like your meat good and done. We don't mind ours being a little pink in our household, so I'm going to do 13. Okay. There we go. And I'm kind of caught up a little bit, I think. So I've got my lime ready to be juiced. I guess I could go ahead and put some of that stuff in this bowl. So once the corn and peppers come out, I wonder if they'll be too hot for this plastic bowl. Surely not. It just says to combine them with the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use our citrus press. And you always want to put your citrus down with the holes. That way the juice comes out easy. And you know the trick if you have trouble getting your citrus to give off a lot of juice, just put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And these are a little hard. But now that I've already cut them, I don't want to put them in the microwave. Okay. Alrighty, we're going to add our green onions here. And the only thing that is going to leave then is our cilantro. So here I have the cilantro. Sometimes I will use the herb meal grinder for this, but I just rinsed them and they're still kind of wet, and I find that it sticks in the grates of it if it's wet. It's better if it's completely dry. So I'm just gonna pull some of the leaves off. It says 1/4 of a cup, and you can use the stems of cilantro. I don't prefer to. I just kind of like using the leaves. So I'm just gonna pull these stems off because I'm at a place where I'm just waiting on everything we're cooking to sort of catch up. We're about done. And we do have a new knife that just come out. It is a serrated nylon knife that has holes in it. You can pull these herbs through. That is on my wish list to get too. Because nylon knives won't scratch up your pans like the regular metal ones will. So here we go. We are getting our leaves off here. And I'm not really measuring this that it's 1/4 a cup. I'm just gonna go with it. because once it's chopped down, it's probably not going to be a fourth of a cup anyway, but that looks pretty good to me. I always like to make sure none of the leaves get stuck on the knife, because then they don't get chopped. Alrighty, I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to use the back side of this knife just to sort of scoop this up. I do have one of those little things that can move the food. I think it's also a thing for cutting bread dough. But I've already got this out. So I put my lime juice. Did I put my oil in here? And we're using a half a teaspoon of salt, yes, and a half a teaspoon of chili powder. Now something, it says you can use your chipotle rub, which is in our pantry line, if you don't have chili powder. I would think our chili lime rub would be good too, because that's already got the lime flavor. And so that's just gonna accentuate that a little bit more. And these are our little easy read measuring spoons. I like these and the cups because they're clear and the writing's black, so it's easier to see. I used to have a set that was, they weren't clear with black writing. The writing was etched into it like. So as I've gotten older, that's kind of hard to see looking at a glance and trying to move quickly to do stuff. Okay, so we've got about 13 more minutes here on the bell pepper and corn, and then we'll just add this to this and stir it up. We've got about 6 more minutes for this. Now once this comes out, my husband grabbed, this is the wood trivet that goes with this cast iron pan, if you wanted to see that. So I think I'm pretty well finished with everything to show you except the finished product, and I maybe can take a picture and post it in the comments or something. Yeah, so what I was going to say about the meat is you're going to cut it across the grain, otherwise it will still be tough because it's just one of those cuts of meat that you do that. So when I say across the grain, it was oblong. So your muscle is kind of running this way. You're going to want to go on the end and cut across. And all I do is just get a cutting board and get the knife and just kind of carve it in however thick of sections we want, usually pretty thin. So, all right guys, this is our coffee marinated steak. Here's a picture of it cut up, and I will add a picture when this is done. Thanks. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.